King turns Meghan has into clowns after starting Andrew's recuperation and allowing Duke of York on Buckingham Palace balcony. Emerging from Easter prayers at St. George's Chapel in Windsor on Sunday, he was alongside the Princess Royal and just behind Charles. This is in contrast to Christmas worship, when the disgraced Duke was forced to linger behind to avoid being photographed with senior royals. Sunday's higher profile wasn't accidental. Meanwhile, the King and Queen will celebrate their coronation by appearing on the Buckingham Palace balcony with just the working royals. Although Andrew will be at King Charles' coronation as a non-working royal, King Charles appears to have offered another olive branch to Prince Andrew by considering allowing his brother to appear on the balcony, to the dismay of his insolent son Prince Harry, and his daughter-in-law hypocritical Meghan Markle became the laughingstock of the UK. Whispers one courtier, it could be interpreted as the king showing there isn't a rift, that Andrew's still part of the family despite not being a working royal. Royal watchers were also stunned Sunday to see Prince Andrew stepping out right behind King Charles at the royal family's Easter outing. The disgraced Duke of York, who was forced to step back from royal life last year after being embroiled in a sex abuse scandal which he denied, will also be banished from appearing at the monarch's side during his big moment in front of unexpected crowds of thousands outside the palace and down the Mall. But not only was he invited to the Easter Sunday service at St. George's Chapel in Windsor, he walked directly behind his older brother and Queen Consort Camilla, and next to his sister, Princess Anne. Charles, along with his son Prince William, is widely believed to have advised Queen Elizabeth to strip his 63-year-old brother of his title in 2021. One veteran royal watcher told Page 6, "I was surprised to see Andrew right behind Charles and particularly next to Anne. They are not usually that close." Although the photos sparked speculation that Andrew could be planning some kind of return to public life, the insider said, "There's a strict delineation between family events like holidays and anything official, and it would have been awkward for Charles not to invite Andrew when his two girls, Beatrice and Eugenie, were there with their partners. But there's no way back into public life for Andrew." The prince was given a front row seat at his mother's funeral last September, and it's not yet known where he will be placed at the coronation ceremony at Westminster Abbey on May 6. Despite this, a source who knows the prince said, "Andrew will be fine." Even though there has been speculation that Andrew will write a tell-all book, just like his nephew, Prince Harry, a source told Page 6 this is highly unlikely. "The way forward for Andrew is a life in service behind the scenes," said the source who knows him. Andrew still has the constant support of his ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, who told The Independent last week, "Nothing can beat love for me. When you are in love, you can do anything for love," she said. "And I married a wonderful, very kind, and a very good man. I fell in love with him. And therefore, nothing was unsurmountable." However, while Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are still negotiating their attendance on the big day, despite the RSVP date of April 2 having already passed, Charles, 74, and Prince Andrew are fighting over real estate. Now, the one-time spare is refusing to bow to demands to move out of his palatial $37 million home, Royal Lodge in Windsor, despite the demands of the new monarch. In an effort to convince him to move, Andrew has even been given the keys to Frogmore Cottage, the 5-bedroom house from which the king recently evicted Harry and Meghan when they are meant to be moving out after the coronation. But so far, Andrew is standing firm and refusing to leave the much grander home he has lived in since 2003. Andrew doesn't want to leave because the property is seen as a symbol of senior royalty, an important property in the family's portfolio, said a royal source. But William, who is the heir to the throne, has his eye on it. William, Kate and their children, George, Charlotte, and Louis, only moved to Adelaide Cottage, near Andrew's Royal Lodge, less than a year ago. The fact that King Charles permitted Prince Andrew to appear on the balcony at his coronation was maybe a compromise and pardon for the Duke of York, while King ignored Meghan and Prince Harry. King turns Meghan has into clowns after starting Andrew's recuperation and allowing Duke of York on Buckingham Palace balcony. Emerging from Easter prayers at St. George's Chapel in Windsor on Sunday, he was alongside the Princess Royal and just behind Charles. This is in contrast to Christmas worship, when the disgraced Duke was forced to linger behind to avoid being photographed with senior royals. Sunday's higher profile wasn't accidental. Meanwhile, the King and Queen